Hey, wukdar, I just made 2 angry videos, and actually don't know if I'm going to upload one of them. They aren't so angry I couldn't upload them. But basically, I think you missed the whole point of this exercise, even though you were the one that set this point up. I mean, a big part of the idea was to see if we actually agree in the conclusions, right? Do we agree in the conclusions? But I agreed with you in the conclusion. You have the 3 planets. I chose the sentient planet. That's still not good enough for you. Why? Why? Because I gave my reasons and they were relativistic. Well, you must have already known that whatever my justification was going to be for my conclusion, it would be relativistic. Except for maybe you didn't think it was possible to have a relativistic position. We have to look at it this way. You see, you want to call your decision objective, but to me, that's not possible. You're still coming at it with a subjective frame of mind. So you just want to call it objective to, assuage your own guilt, I guess, because you will have made a decision that will lead to the destruction of a full ecology, a living ecology, something that ought to be respected as a living being. And you just want to know you've made the absolutely right conclusion. You can't know that that's objectively right. Look, I chose your way, right? I chose to save the sentient planet, or the shorthand for the planet with the sentient creatures on it. Okay? I made that same decision. I just don't say it's objective. You want to say it's objective, but hey, wait a second. Where do sentient creatures come from? Don't they evolve from non-sentient creatures? How do you objectively know that the sentient creatures that we're going to evolve on the non-sentient planet aren't going to be aren't going to be objectively worth more than the ones on the existing sentient planet? How the fuck do you know that? You can't. You want to make an excuse so you wouldn't, in this hypothetical, have to worry yourself at night that you've done something wrong by making a decision to destroy a whole planet. And I just don't look at things like that. You've set up a tragedy here. There's guaranteed to be a massive tragedy in your setup. So I'm not, in my answer, trying to avoid responsibility for that tragedy or trying to avoid the bad feelings of that tragedy with some fairy tale that it was objectively right to do what I did. I'll justify what I did based on the real reasons, which include I'm a sentient being. I can identify with that sentient planet much, much better. I can understand the value of it. I can see rational reasons, like maybe it could do something to repopulate the non-sentient planet or what have you. Now with dilemmas, I do take a 2-pronged approach. I don't appreciate you saying that I just have to accept everything in your dilemma, because I do accept your dilemma. That's the first step. I go ahead and answer it with all the silly kinds of things we're supposed to assume out of dilemmas, because that's how that game is played, so we can do the thought experiment. Okay? And then I answered your damn question. But then I also critique the dilemma itself, because these dilemmas are manipulative. Here's a dilemma for you. Let's say you killed an innocent person and enjoyed it. You know you will not get caught. You know you will not get caught if you do it again. Question. Do you do it again? Question. Do you turn yourself in? You see the problem? I mean, on the one hand, there's a question. Put yourself in the frame of mind of some sick bastard that enjoys killing innocent people. And answer it that way, and you'll find, well, no, I guess I wouldn't turn myself in, and yes, I would do it again. But it's not really I that I'm talking about anymore, is it? Someone wants to use that dilemma to go and say, see, even you would make this decision. No, I would make this decision in this weird-ass system where I am this other person, okay? I did not decompose your examples in a rude way at all. I did the minimal amount of comments on your examples themselves. Because, there's a lot more to it. Why do I only have 30 seconds to save the fucking planet? You know why? Because you know that if there was longer, someone like me would try to find a way to save both planets with living creatures. Okay? And you want to cut that avenue of thinking off. But don't say it's to increase the realism. You say, oh, well, real life people are faced with these godlike dilemmas. No, they're not. Like if you know that trolley dilemma, pushing the guy off. You push a guy off a bridge because you know it's going to stop the trolley. But in real life, you would never know it was really going to stop the trolley. The guy could take a bounce to the side. You don't fucking know that kind of thing. Okay? You don't know that. And ultimately, things like that can discredit the dilemma itself. Now, I didn't think your dilemmas were discredited. I thought they were good dilemmas because they illustrate, the answers illustrate. I was able to show you, though you didn't see it anyway, I guess. But still, I'm pretty sure I showed you that I would conclude that the best thing to do, for me to do, the best decision I could make, would be to save that sentient planet. But I gave a relativistic reason. I can imagine the best interest of a tree. I can imagine what the best interest of a tree would be, yes, because I am sentient, and I am a human being, and I have the ability to imagine that. But I guess you missed the part where I said, but I actually am a sentient creature, and I'm not a tree. So given the choice where I cannot make both of those things fit together, I will side with my closer frame of reference. But if I can, I'll use the broader frame of reference. If I can save every living thing on the planet, I'll do that. You want to know real life decisions? Well, people pretend to play God a lot more. And they pretend that we're at battle with the non-sentient creatures and the so-called lower animals all the time here on Earth. And they use it as a way to say, oh, wow, we had no choice. We had to kill, all of the virgin forest because it's us or them. Yeah, we're playing God, but, real life, you got to play God sometimes. No, you fucking don't have to play God. You could get a bigger frame of reference. If you want to feel better about this tragedy, this tragic decision, by thinking that your answer is objective. It is not fucking objective. Okay, and it will continue to be a tragedy if you set up a tragedy like this. Okay. The relativistic way is a good way to solve problems like this, because I see when there's a conflict, we have to choose the frame of reference that's most narrow. It's like, I have a frame of reference of live and let live with humans. It includes all humans, regardless of your race, creed, age, anything. We should all live and let live, regardless of your opinions. If it's just talk and you're not hurting anybody, fine, we should all live and let live. But you know what? If somebody comes up to me and starts a conflict and it's clear, look, they are not following this frame of reference, I need to do something, then I will retract my frame of reference to my own personal frame of reference, and to the point where I realize, hey, I fucking have to defend myself. And won't be slow. This will happen like that. And I'll realize, hey, I have to defend myself. My broad, enlightened view that we should be peaceful is not going to work here. It's already not working here. It's already not an option. So me including that guy's welfare in my frame of reference isn't going to work, and it's going to have to be a battle. What do you do when there's an objective answer? How the fuck do you change your answer because of the circumstances of somebody that really has a right to survive as a human being, has taken upon themselves to come and start assaulting you, threatening your life? Now suddenly you're going to have to hurt somebody. See, to you have to go, oh, well, the world's imperfect, so I just had to do the unobjective thing. That's fucking bullshit. You don't get an option. If it's objective and universal, you don't have an option to, except for this situation, it's still applied. You did something wrong in your system. You should be a pacifist. They slap you, just turn the other cheek, right? That's because objectively it would be wrong to hurt. No, it is relatively wrong. If somebody comes up and attacks you, it's fucking fine to attack them back. Totally fine. You didn't break anything, nothing imperfect in that world except for this other bastard that isn't enlightened enough to know that you and he had some common ground. It should have just worked together to make a stronger society. Okay, yeah, this was the calm version. And, why don't you answer my dilemma, or at least tell me, do you understand why now this isn't just terms? Because it's not just terms underneath. I agreed with your conclusion, gave a relativistic reason, that still isn't good enough to you. So I guess it's not just semantics, right? Because it must be real ideas, or are you now the one objecting to semantics?